Learn English through the story of Robert Kiyosaki. Chapter 1. The Two Fathers. Robert Kiyosaki was born in 1947 in Hilo, Hawaii. He grew up in a small town with his family. His real father was a teacher and very smart, but his father always struggled with money. Robert called him Poor Dad because of this. Robert also had another father figure in his life. This was his best friend Mike's father. Mike's father was a successful businessman. Robert called him Rich Dad because he was wealthy. Rich Dad became Robert's mentor and teacher. Poor Dad believed in going to school and getting a job. He thought hard work would lead to success. But Rich Dad had a different way of thinking. He believed in learning about money and investing. Rich Dad said, "Don't work for money, make money work for you." Robert was confused by these two different ideas. He loved and respected both fathers, but he started to see the world in a new way. Rich Dad taught Robert how to think like an entrepreneur. He showed Robert how to spot opportunities everywhere. One day, Rich Dad offered Robert a job at his store. Robert was excited to earn some money, but the job was hard and the pay was very low. Rich Dad wanted to teach Robert an important lesson. He said, "If you work for money, you will always be poor." Robert began to understand what Rich Dad meant. He realized that most people work for money their whole lives, but the rich find ways to make money work for them. This lesson changed Robert's life forever. He decided he would never be trapped by money. Robert started asking Rich Dad more questions. He wanted to learn everything about money and investing. Rich Dad taught him about assets and liabilities. He explained how the rich buy assets that make money, but the poor and middle class buy things that cost money. Robert began to see the difference between the two dads. Poor Dad worked hard, but never became rich. Rich Dad worked smart and built wealth over time. Robert knew he wanted to follow Rich Dad's path. He wanted to be free from the fear of not having enough money. By the time Robert was a teenager, he had a new dream. He didn't just want a job or a paycheck. He wanted to build a life of financial freedom. Rich Dad's lessons became the foundation of his future. And so, Robert's journey to wealth began. Chapter 2. The First Steps. After graduating from high school, Robert felt restless. He wanted to explore the world and learn new things. In 1965, he decided to join the U.S. Marine Corps. The military taught him discipline and leadership skills. These lessons would later help him in business. During his time in the Marines, Robert traveled the world. He saw different cultures and ways of life. This opened his mind to new possibilities. He realized that life was much bigger than his small town. Robert began to dream of a future full of opportunities. After leaving the military, Robert needed a job. He joined Xerox as a salesperson in 1974. The job was tough, and he faced many rejections. But Robert learned how to sell and communicate effectively. These skills would become crucial in his later ventures. While working at Xerox, Robert saved some money. He wanted to start his own business and be his own boss. In 1977, he launched his first company. It made nylon and Velcro surf wallets for surfers. The product was unique and had potential. At first, the business seemed successful. Robert's wallets were featured in popular magazines. Orders started coming in from all over the country, but soon problems began to arise. Robert didn't know enough about running a business. He struggled with managing money and production. Competitors copied his idea and sold cheaper versions. Robert's business slowly started to fall apart. In the end, the company failed, and Robert lost everything. But he didn't see it as a failure. He saw it as a lesson. Robert realized that he needed to learn more about business. He also understood the importance of financial education. This experience made him stronger and more determined. He knew that success required persistence and learning. Robert decided to keep trying until he achieved his goals. During this time, Robert met a woman named Kim. She was smart, ambitious, and shared his dreams. The two fell in love and decided to build a life together. Kim became Robert's partner in both life and business. Together, they would face challenges and achieve great things. Robert and Kim moved to California to start fresh. They worked hard and saved money for their next venture. Robert continued to learn about investing in real estate. He believed that real estate could provide passive income. This would be the key to their financial freedom. In 1982, Robert and Kim started a new business. They created a company that sold T-shirts and accessories. This time, they were more prepared and focused. The business grew, and they began to make good money. But Robert still wanted more. He wanted true financial freedom. Robert remembered Rich Dad's lessons about assets. He decided to invest in real estate to build wealth. Robert and Kim bought their first rental property. It was a small step, but it was the beginning of their journey. They were on their way to achieving their dreams. Chapter 3. The Turning Point. Robert and Kim worked hard on their T-shirt business. But Robert's mind was always on real estate. He believed it was the best way to build wealth. In 1985, they sold their T-shirt company. They used the money to focus on real estate investing. Robert studied the market and looked for good deals. He learned how to buy properties below market value. He also learned how to negotiate with sellers. Robert and Kim started buying small rental properties. These properties provided them with a steady income. One day, Robert found a great opportunity. It was a small apartment building in Portland, Oregon. The building was in bad condition, but the price was low. Robert saw its potential and decided to take the risk. He and Kim bought the building and began fixing it up. They worked hard to repair and improve the property. Soon, the building was full of happy tenants. The rental income from the building was more than expected. This success gave Robert and Kim confidence. They started looking for more real estate opportunities. Over time, Robert and Kim built a portfolio of properties. They owned apartment buildings, houses, and land. Their rental income grew, and they became financially free. Robert no longer needed a job to pay his bills. He had achieved the dream he had worked so hard for. But Robert wanted to do more than just be rich. He wanted to share his knowledge with others. He remembered how Rich Dad had changed his life. Robert decided to teach people about money and investing. He believed that financial education could change lives. In 1994, Robert started a company called the Rich Dad Company. He created board games and seminars to teach about money. One of his games was called Cash Flow. It taught players how to invest and manage their finances. The game became very popular and helped many people. Robert also began writing books about his experiences. His first book was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In it, he shared the lessons he learned from his two dads. The book became a huge success and sold millions of copies. It changed the way people thought about money and wealth. Rich Dad, Poor Dad made Robert famous around the world. People wanted to hear his message and learn from him. Robert started speaking at events and conferences. He inspired millions to take control of their financial future. His teachings challenged traditional ideas about money. Robert's success was not just about making money. It was about helping others achieve financial freedom. He believed that anyone could become rich with the right mindset. Robert's journey from failure to success inspired many. He proved that with hard work and learning, anything is possible. Chapter 4: The Rich Dad Philosophy. After the success of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert became a teacher. He wanted to spread the lessons he learned from Rich Dad. Robert believed that schools didn't teach enough about money. He wanted to fill this gap and help people think differently. His philosophy was simple. Don't work for money. Make money work for you. Robert's message resonated with people around the world. Many were tired of living paycheck to paycheck. They wanted to break free from the cycle of debt. Robert's books and seminars gave them hope and a plan. He taught them how to take control of their financial lives. One of Robert's key lessons was about assets and liabilities. He explained that assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out of your pocket. The rich focus on buying assets like real estate and businesses. The poor and middle class often buy liabilities, like cars and gadgets. Robert also taught the importance of financial education. He said, "The more you learn, the more you earn." He encouraged people to read books, attend seminars, and take risks. Robert believed that fear and ignorance were the biggest obstacles. By facing fear and gaining knowledge, anyone could succeed. Another important lesson was about the power of passive income. Robert explained that working hard for money was not enough. To achieve true financial freedom, you need passive income. This is money that comes in even when you're not working. Examples include rental income, dividends, and royalties. Robert's teachings were not just about money. They were about freedom, choices, and living a better life. He wanted people to have more time for family and passions. He believed that money was a tool to create the life you wanted. This message inspired millions to take action and change their lives. Robert's company, the Rich Dad Company, grew quickly. He created more books, games, and courses to teach people. His cash flow game became a global phenomenon. It helped people practice investing in a fun and safe way. Many said the game changed the way they thought about money. Robert also faced criticism from some people. They said his ideas were too risky or unrealistic. But Robert didn't let the criticism stop him. He believed in his message and kept sharing it with the world. He knew that not everyone would understand or agree with him. Over time, Robert's impact became undeniable. His books were translated into dozens of languages. He spoke to audiences in countries all over the world. People from all walks of life shared stories of how he helped them. Robert's philosophy became a movement for financial freedom. Robert's success was not just about wealth. It was about empowering others to take control of their lives. He showed that anyone could achieve financial independence. All it took was the right mindset, education, and action. Robert's journey from struggle to success inspired millions. He wrote more books, each focusing on different aspects of wealth. Titles like Cash Flow Quadrant and Rich Dad's Guide to Investing became bestsellers. His message reached even more people, spreading like wildfire. Robert also embraced new technology to share his teachings. He started podcasts, YouTube channels, and online courses. This allowed him to connect with a younger, tech-savvy audience. He believed that financial education should be accessible to everyone. His content was simple, practical, and easy to understand. In 2020, the world faced a global economic crisis. Many people lost their jobs and struggled financially. Robert's teachings became more relevant than ever. Robert also emphasized the importance of giving back. He believed that true wealth was about making a difference. He supported charities and causes that promoted financial education. Today, Robert Kiyosaki's legacy lives on. His books are still read, his games are still played, and his message is still shared. He remains a symbol of hope and possibility for millions. Robert's journey reminds us that wealth is not just about money. It's about freedom, choices, and living life on your own terms. And that's the story of Robert Kiyosaki. Now, I'd love to hear from you. If you could learn one financial lesson from Robert Kiyosaki, what would it be? Would you focus on building assets, creating passive income, or something else? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories and English listening practice. Until next time, keep learning and dreaming big.